Hey, Don here. Just a reminder, guys, the fundraiser ride was canceled. There's a video called Blamelessness that I made, and in there I explain the details about what happened. And so you can watch that if you want to know all that stuff. But also in there I explained that I was still struggling with my health a bit. I had to continue the treatment that I was on, and that wasn't making any sense. So I tried something else and it worked. So I was able to stop finally. And I feel so much better. Like, I felt better on the treatments, right? But I had to keep taking them. And then finally when I got the right one, like, just not having to take anything, you know, like I take herbal supplements and stuff now, just to kind of like help to keep having faith that I am actually feeling better, you know, because I think I get a little fearful that it would come back, you know. But yeah, no, it's so awesome. So I'm just here editing the video now. Got the super cool solar panel in the mail today. But ultimately too, I just want to say like thank you, Jesus, because I had to struggle against everyone's opinion, and then my own opinion was like, you know, it didn't make sense, you know, and so I had to like kind of grow up a bit and be like, okay, well, I made some mistakes somewhere, right? And sure enough, that was the case. So we're not going to get into all that. That's going to be in the documentary, like I said in my listeners. But I'm going to show you the videos about how I got here to this beautiful valley, and I'm going to stay here.
I have come to this place in my life. I'm full, but I'm not satisfied. This longing to have more of you. And I can feel in my heart is convinced. I'm thirsty, my soul can't be quenched. You already know this, but still, come and do whatever you want to. I'm standing knee deep, but I'm out where I've never been. And I feel you coming, and I hear your voice on the wind. Would you come and tear down the boxes that
I really need to get my tooth fixed, but I'm going to call tomorrow and I'm going to find out if I can get my tooth fixed in Alberta, because I'd like to just leave tomorrow and continue this journey. Once I get over these Rockies, it's going to be nice, because I can, you know, I can pedal a little easier anyway. So I'm out here at the laundromat in Golden, BC, and well, I was talking to the Ministry of Social Development yesterday. They asked me for my address, and I didn't remember what it was, and I was explaining why I didn't remember, because I moved my address up to Port Hardy, and I was biking across Canada. This is the third time that I brought it up to them about what I was doing, and she asked me how long it was going to take, and then she told me that there was a rule that I can't leave the province for more than 30 days, otherwise they would take away social assistance. So I can't bike across Canada. Since I have everything going with Autism Canada, it seems kind of pointless to try to end it really quickly. So I'm going to try and get a doctor's note, suggestion that I continue on this fundraiser, and that they allow me to do it, because otherwise I'm going to be doing the same thing inside of British Columbia. But I'm not going to get exposure to those resources that I was going to have the other way, and that took 2 years of planning. I like to keep this fundraiser alive, so I'll let you guys know here in a few days. So I called the ministry. The woman on the phone was so rude. She told me about how if she were to ask the ministry if she could go on a cruise, they wouldn't send her on one, and they certainly were not going to send me on a cruise. Nor were they going to accept such a prescription from a doctor. I'm not sure she understood how difficult this type of journey was for someone like myself. A cruise. She was heartless.
For we trust in our God, and through His unfailing love, we will not be shaken, we will not be shaken, we will not be shaken. For we trust in our God, through His unfailing love, we will not be shaken, we will not be shaken, we will not be shaken.
It's a completely different thing while I'm riding. I'm really here. Like every little hill, every little valley, like I'm not riding through it anymore. I'm just experiencing it, which is kind of nice. It's a real blessing, actually. Just take my time. You know, speaking of having a tough life, I am not the only one in this world, dude. Yeah, the things worked out for them a little bit different than the rest. This poor beaver. He lives in a swamp. Really, guys. It's all kind of like that out here. I'm at the it's a wetlands reserve in the Columbia Valley. We already said that, but yeah. Anyway, just that red water. I just can't get over that. You guys are crazy. But you got to make a living where you got it, right? That's what we're doing. So anyway, you know, they had the coolest store out here. I just bought like a honey store, but they just had like all this like really artesian, beautiful store too. Played classical music inside. I sat down and got to use the internet. I'm just falling in love with this valley, and for some reason I kind of feel like I'm gonna go check out Kelowna, and I may end up there, but if not, I know this is where I'll end up. Hey, look at this. It's the beaver's house. He's got better water here. He's got a multi-tiered system going on. There's not very many logs, so he's got mud in between the logs. It's the original Canadian log home. So I'm here, my new campsite, and I'm gathering wood so I can have a fire. I'm like, man, this spot's perfect. We've got their livestock running around not too far from here, just out in the open. I'm like, man, this is gonna be awesome. Then as I'm going to the forest to gather wood here, I see something. Out there. That one there. down there. Somebody out here is marking their territory. So, like, am I gonna gather enough wood to be all right? You can see all the pellets on the ground from the elk or the deer or whatever. So, I'm gonna go a little closer to town. I have this tiny little dog spray, which is funny because half an hour ago, I just purchased. I was like just humming and hawing about like getting a bear spray or not. So I'm getting this big thing of dog spray, which only can spray 9 meters instead of, 9 meters instead of 12, 9 meters instead of 20. I don't know what the bear spray is, but anyway, so just like, you know what, I'm not really going to go up north this summer, so I should be safe. I got this little one. But now when I see that, I'm like, I don't know if I should I really want bear spray? You know, I think an animal can approach you so quickly. If you're aware of your surroundings and such, and you make noise, most of them don't want to come around. It is nice to know you have that safety net, but I just don't think I'd carry bear spray around enough to make it worth it. So I'll just put the bigger dog spray on here, and I know live. I so want to camp here. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. The other camp spot is kind of crummy. So I think I'm actually going to do it. Okay. I try to be brave, but you know, here I am, city boy with my Doritos. I'm used to camping out in the wilderness. That's the first time I run into that, and I can't remember whether it was bear or cougars. I think there's cougars that do that one, but they also pee on the tree if it is. I didn't smell any pee over there, but clearly they visit this place often because they've marked 3 trees over there. So since I don't know enough about it, I think it's best to move on.
So, I made my way over to the bridge on the other side of the wildlife reserve. I'm not really sure what happened that night, but I was able to catch a vague recording of it happening. Last night, I had the living tar scared right out of me, man. Here's proximity to my tent last night. There's my tent, and then right here are fresh otter tracks from one of their infamous little struggles with each other. I remember hearing it, and this is what scared me so bad. Made me want to call 911 because it started over there with a cougar eating something, but then eventually otters were on this side within 20 minutes or so, and then just wrestling around here. I mean, they weren't even that far from where it happened. I don't know if it was one of theirs that got eaten or what got eaten. So I was just like sitting there shaking, barely wanted to breathe, like with my mace out because they're running around out here. I figured, man, At first I thought it was a baby cougar. The reason I actually have a recording, and I thought that it was a baby cougar that I was hearing, so I started recording, and that's when the attack happened. So I actually caught the attack on recording, although it doesn't do that great because it's on the other side of the tree, so it's kind of quiet compared to what the speakers could pick up. But it's just so intense, scary. Anyway, I'm just thankful for my life this morning. I know the cougar's not going to attack the tent, you know, like I ended up calling 911 after about 20 minutes of it. I couldn't handle it anymore. Just make sure I was doing the right thing, you know. And like they said, you know, the cougar's after its own kind of prey, and if it thinks I'm a threat to it, then it might attack me, but otherwise it wouldn't. So I just stayed in my tent all night, and everything's fine. But oh, I can't handle the stress. That's pretty scary. So anyway, I'm safe and sound, and I'm going to continue on today. I got 62 kilometers to do. That's more than I do normally in a day, so I got a lot of work out of myself. I better get ready. Talk to you soon. Hey, isn't this cool? I'm in Radium, BC, Radium Hot Springs, and the sheep here, they just come chill in town where it's safe, you know, hang out a little bit, their big old horns. Isn't that so cool? That's just so cool. So I'm sitting here. I just had dinner. It's Sabbath here, but oh wow, that was a beaver. Did you see that? I hope I caught that. Oh wow, that's so cool. Okay, there goes the beaver. Better, but you know, it's just like mom and dad and a family. Hey, there's a beaver again. Right there, across the river. By the shoreline. He must get used to me because last night he kept slapping his tail in the water. Today he's not so concerned with that. But you really can't see him, can you? You can see.
For we trust in our God, and through His unfailing love, we will not be shaken. We will not be shaken. We will not be shaken.
My friend down at the bike shop told me this is a good place to camp. I got into Ivermere today, and the pedal crank on my bike was starting to wobble, so I took it to Canadian Tire, and it's still under warranty, so I tried to get them to fix it. I thought we could just tighten it up, but it turns out we have to replace the part, and so they sent me to another bike shop after the first one told me it didn't work. And so I'm going to be here for a week.
Created from dust, and you came and you lived among us. You took on a friend, you walked in our pain, and now you're taking us higher. And you stepped into time, and you laid down your life to save us. And you took all our shame. On the cross it was a leg. And now you're taking us higher. 'Cause we go from glory to glory to glory. We'll never be the same. We'll never be the same. We go from glory to glory to glory. We're forever changed, forever changed. And you call me a friend, and brought into your endless kingdom. And by the blood I was made, no longer a slave. And now you take it.
Check it out. At the thrift store today, I got 2 brand new pair of biking shorts for $1 a piece. $1 a piece. What a blessing. I'm so happy about that. And yeah, I'm just happy about that. I don't know what else to say. That squeaking is the bearings on the trailer. I had the funniest thought today. I was like, I heard him squeaking, and I was like, what if the bearings busted? I was like, great. I was like, I bet if the bearings busted, it'd be like both sides, you know, because that's just how things are working. Sure enough, both sides are busted, falling apart. So I'm really gonna make it up here to the road. The inside bearings are still working, but I don't know for how long because they're squeaking right now. The outside ones completely fell apart. Yeah. I swear today before I left, I didn't even realize it was happening. And I felt the Holy Spirit tell me, like, just ride gently today. And that was weird. You know, I had lots of train tracks and stuff to go over. Still, that I did. I rode gently. I'm glad I did. Anyway, I'm gonna hitchhike out to Provincial Park. I'll camp there for a week or two and get it all fixed up.